Pete met Miller was the last of a fine breed. Town tamers who carried the law in their holsters. When he wired asking for help, I knew it had to be big if he couldn't handle it.
Me, Slade.
Come in. I was never so glad to see anybody in my life.
You must be slipping, Pete. Thought you had this town tamed.
We had a lynch party last night.
Lynch party? They get what they came for?
Well, I haven't slipped that much. But I really appreciate you getting here so fast.
Come on now, Pete. You've handled mobs before. Let's have it. What's the matter?
You remember my son, Bob?
Sure.
Well, he's my deputy now. He's got all the makings of a good lawman.
Something happened to him?
Not yet, but he's locked up back there.
Locked up? What for?
Murder. I gotta hang him day after tomorrow.
How'd you get yourself in this pickle?
I know it sounds crazy, but I don't know.
All right, Bobby. Suppose you tell me about it now.
Did you see the sign on the bank when you rode in?
Yeah?
This town is bankrupt, busted, and they're blaming Bob for it.
That's not a hanging offense?
No, but there is a murder involved. This is a hard money town. These farmers like gold. The bank makes a lot of crop loans. At least they did. A couple of weeks back, they needed a bullion shipment from Denver, and I sent Bob for it.
Well?
It was $50,000. I picked it up at the mint, got it aboard the Denver Rio Grande Express, and started back. That's all I know.
That's all you know?
When we opened the express car, he was out cold on the floor. The back of his head looked like he'd been kicked by a mule. The gold was gone, and the express agent was dead. Shot by a bullet from Bob's gun.
Bob, who else was in that express car with you?
Nobody.
Nobody?
Open up, Sheriff. It's me, Brannigan.
What do you want?
Now, that's no tone to use on a man who's been doing you favors.
What, stirring up a lynch mob?
Well, just the opposite. Howdy. I guess the sheriff ain't gonna introduce us. My name's Brannigan.
Mr. Slade.
Brannigan?
My honor, Mr. Slade. Yes, sir, Sheriff. You'll not have any more trouble. This ain't no lawless hick town anymore. I passed the word myself. Any mob that comes for your boy has got to deal with me.
You mean that?
I'll kill any man who tries it. You know lynching for him, he's gonna hang legal. The law is gonna put the noose around his neck. That's you, Sheriff.
Get out.
See, Mr. Slade, some folks hereabouts figure that the sheriff might not do his duty, considering the killer's his own son. But I know better. Old Matt Miller enforces the law no matter who gets hurt.
I told you to get out.
When I'm ready. Now, you ain't prepared things, so I'm doing you another favor. Paying for it out of my own pocket, too. Here, Sheriff, take a look. Ain't that a beauty? A real proper gallows. Now, don't thank me for it. I'm very happy to do it.
Friend of yours, Pete?
You asked me if I tamed this town. Well, I did. And taming Brannigan was the toughest part. His son deserved to be hanged 20 times or more. I did it once. He told me I'd regret it.
Pete and I went to the depot and examined the express car. The locks were still on the door. There was no indication of tampering or forceful entry. There was no skylight, no possible entry through the roof. Nobody could have gotten through the bars on the window. Everything pointed to Bob's guilt.
I can't. I just can't remember. Leave me alone.
Leave you alone? Listen to me. You've only got 40 hours to live. I'm trying to help you.
He's been through a lot,
That's
Slade.
nothing to what he's going to go through. All right, Bob, all right. Now listen, we'll start all over again from the beginning. Bob, give me something to get my teeth into.
It's no use, Mr. Slade. It's no use. We both know that.
Slade, I've asked you to go a long ways on faith. You can level with me. Do you think he's guilty?
No. No, Pete, I don't. If he was guilty, he'd have a better story. Besides, breeding counts for something. And he's your son, Pete. Now listen to me. You know I'm as strong for duty as anybody. But please, don't crucify yourself like this. I mean, don't do it yourself. Resign first.
No. Bob and me, we've talked this over. He'd sooner get it from me than from a stranger. Afterwards, I'll turn him a star. Oh, Slade, what can I do? I can track down a renegade even if he can walk on water. Or show me a saloon full of Huron trail hands and I'll make them peaceful or I'll break their necks. But this... Somebody's just got me beat, and they got to me through my boy.
All right. If we're beat, we're going to go down trying. Now, let's get started. First, do you have a transcript of the trial?
Yeah.
Good, get it.
I accepted the idea that a third party somehow got aboard the train, killed the agent, then got the gold off without detection. I had trouble believing it when I figured what the gold weighed. $50,000 at $16 an ounce, 12 ounces to the Troy pound. The shipment weighed over 250 pounds.
Pete,
Yeah?
you know a town named Rawlins?
Yeah.
How far is it from here?
15 miles due west. Why?
I'll tell you that when I get back. The
transcript said the train made 5 stops between Denver and Pinewood. I could forget the first 3. The conductor talked to the agent in the express car. But when the train pulled into Rawlins, no one remembered seeing either Bob or the agent.
Well, can't you shake it up a little bit, mister? I'm in a hurry.
I'm working as fast as I can. Did you say the 18th?
That's right, the 18th. Now think, were there any crates unloaded that day?
Sure. We get freight on every train. That's what trains are for, you know. Ah, here they are. Now, what do you want to know?
I can find it faster myself.
Wait a minute. These are railroad records. We can't let just anybody thumb through them. I'll tell you what's in them.
All right, I want to know the weight on every shipment.
Well, here's one. The Bonton General Store had a crate. Dresses, yardage, men and women's undergarments.
The weight.
The weight, 76 pounds.
Now, try the next one.
You've got a bitey tongue, young fella. Now, we'll save a lot of time if you'll just tell me what you're looking for.
I'm sorry, but I'm not exactly sure. You see, it's a crate or a box or something that weighed about 250 pounds.
Yeah? Yeah, sure, we got that. But it ain't what you're looking for.
Why? What was it?
A coffin. Yes, sir. Luana Parker's husband had him shipped back from Denver. Funny thing about that, I didn't even know she was married. He must have been a big man. Almost broke my back getting him on my cart.
I need this.
I told you, company rules
You
says...
haven't read the new rules. Look, it says right here that I can take this if I bring it back.
Yes, sir. It does say that, all right.
Thank you, sir.
Yes?
Are you the, Widow Parker? My name is Slade, ma'am. I wonder if I might talk with you a few moments.
What about Mr. Slade?
It's about your late husband.
I'm sorry, some other time.
Oh, but some other time won't do, really.
Oh, I'll handle this, my dear. Sir, I can't call you mister. A gentleman wouldn't impose on a widow in grief.
Yes. I can see she's all broken up over it. No doubt you're consoling her.
It's a man's duty to help in time of sorrow.
And you've done a fine job in cheering her up.
Different people have different customs of mourning. Did you know, for instance, that the Chinese, they dress in white and celebrate, give the dear departed a real send-off?
That's very interesting. We'll have to have a long talk about it some other time.
No.
Now, listen, mister. Take it nice and easy. She'll shed a few tears over you.
Mr. Slade, I must ask you to leave.
You can stop play acting now, Mrs. Parker. You're going to answer some questions.
Keep quiet, Lorna.
Now, look, I don't have time to explain this, but every time you open your mouth, you're going to get another one. Understand?
I'll break your neck.
Now, what did your husband die of?
Old age. Now get out of here.
Where's the death certificate?
I lost it.
Who was the attending physician?
Mr. Slade, I don't have to answer your questions.
Now, what makes you think so?
Because a friend of mine is covering you with a gun.
She ain't acting now, Mr. Slade.
I owed you that one. You got to admit it.
That's it, Slade. Here's where we part company. Personally, I wanted to kill you, but Lorna's seen enough death lately.
Besides, too many people know I went to her house.
Yes, that thought did occur to me. Slade, I don't know what caused your interest in her late husband, but and I don't mean any offense to him. Let sleeping dogs lie.
And supposing I don't?
Slade, it's a matter of pride with me. I never play fair.
When somebody crosses me, I find a way to kill them without any danger to myself. Do yourself a favor. Stay out of my way. Right are your evil suspicions. When you catch up with your horse, follow the Denver road. Good afternoon.
Look, Pop, send this wire fast. Sheriff Pete Matt Miller, Pinewood. Have lead. Delay execution, sign SLADE. Hurry up.
Well, hey, you gotta write it yourself. Company rules.
Send it, will you?
Sheriff Pete.
Matt Miller, Pinewood. That's a delay execution. Have lead. Sign SLADE.
Stop worrying. You did right showing this to me. Come on, I want you to send a message.
SLADE. Your answer's coming in. Execution goes on schedule. Brannigan.
There wasn't time for a court order to open the grave. I was 99% sure the coffin was empty, but that 1% worried me. Was as empty as the coffin. I hadn't expected them to be waiting for me. Every trail must have a beginning. The cut of the tracks told me the buggy was carrying extra weight, maybe 250 pounds. Headed straight for the New Mexico border. I gambled that they weren't going to turn off.
Say I didn't warn him.
You missed!
I never miss. He was dead before he hit the ground. Paul, go make sure.
Keep coming, fella. Act like you don't see me.
shedding real tears for him?
He's my husband.
25 minutes to go.
Folks, there's not going to be any hanging today. Let him go, Pete.
Did you hear that? Oh, Bob.
The money's in the wagon, every penny of it.
Oh, wait a minute! Get the money back. Don't clear him of murder.
Go on with the hanging.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, tell him about it.
Why should I?
Because it might save your life. You're an accessory to murder. Believe me, if you don't talk, you'll hang.
You wouldn't.
That's right, I wouldn't. We got a sheriff here that would. You almost got his son hanged. Who planned this?
You figured everything else. Can't you figure that out, too?
I want you to name him.
Brannigan.
Hold it.
He thought it up. He came to us with the idea.
What was his cut?
None of the money. He said he was getting paid in another way.
Your husband got aboard the train in the coffin. Now, why did he have to kill the agent?
He didn't want to. That was Brannigan's idea. He's crazy, sick with hate.
Come on.
The case officially ended 3 weeks later. Brannigan was indicted for his part in the murder. He would probably hang from the gallows he built. Sometimes a bad experience can twist a boy's life. I was still worried about Bob.
I ain't much with words, Slade, but thanks, just more than I can say.
Bob, if you're one for revenge, you've got an opportunity that comes to few men.
You mean Brannigan? Well, knowing how Dad felt, I think I understand him a little. Anyway, I sure learned something from him. I don't want revenge. He showed me what it costs.
Good. That's the right answer, boy. Good luck to you. Bob would be all right. He had the makings of a real lawman. Just like his dad. my town, Denver. Only my job has me riding out all too often. My name's SLADE. I'm a detective, a troubleshooter for hire. And this time it started right here. When an uninvited guest slipped into the hotel room of a friend of mine, the little present he rigged up for my friend was to fire off all kinds of trouble.
And if you solve this case, Mr. Barabee, you'll be the most important detective in the country. I'll see you at dinner. I'd like to tell my associates what you've learned. You know, when $1 million vanishes, you can lose more than sleep. You can lose a railroad.
The Denver and Texas Railroad has had its share of holdups, but never anything like this, Mr. SLADE. That's why we sent for you.
All right, sir. Let's have it.
But about 4 months ago, the Mexican government sent $1 million in bullion to the Denver Mint, where it was converted into pesos. Well, sir, our railroad was entrusted with the job of delivering that money to the Mexican authorities at El Paso. We made up a special car, put 4 special guards on it. When the train pulled in at El Paso, the 4 special guards were missing. The $1 million was also missing, and so was the special car.
That's ridiculous. You can't misplace a railroad car.
It's gone, vanished without a trace. We've searched every inch of the route.
Doesn't sound like any gang I ever heard of.
Well, the Mexican government thinks it may have been the work of revolutionaries, the followers of Manuel Garcia. The $1 million will buy a lot of arms. The only trouble with that theory is not a single coin has been passed either side of the border.
And how do you know?
Well, they're easy to trace. Every coin bears the mark of the Denver Mint, a small D. Federal investigators have drawn a blank. Pinkerton's done no better. If the Denver and Texas has to reimburse the Mexican government, it'll put us out of business.
Not a single lead, huh?
Nothing. Less than a week after Pinkerton went on the case, their investigator, Bev Barabee, was murdered.
So Bev's luck ran out, eh?
Did you know him?
Yeah, he was an old friend of mine.
$1 million. They'll stop at nothing.
Where'd you get this?
Well, last night, a man got involved in a brawl at the Occidental. They locked him up. When they searched him, they found that. He's our first and only lead, and he won't talk. Well, how about it? Will you take the case?
$1 million, eh? Sounds just tough enough to be interesting. Yes, sir, I'll take it.
Good. Well, where do you start?
Well, first I think I'll pay a visit to that jailhouse, Mr. Franklin. Good day.
Good day.
A case like this is a challenge. It can end only 2 ways. You solve it and you're a hero. We end up with a bullet in your back.
Mr. SLADE?
Okay. Excuse me, Mr. Longo. My name is SLADE. I'm a private detective.
Detective? Just what I need, a detective.
So where'd you get this Mexican coin, huh?
Mexican coin? Never had one.
Oh, it was found in your pocket.
Maybe somebody put it there.
Oh, I don't think so.
Maybe I got it and changed at the bar.
They don't use Mexican money here in Denver.
Hey, you calling me a liar?
That's right.
You're real pushing me here.
Well, now, Joe, you just do a little talking and we can continue outside, all right?
I don't know nothing. There's nothing to tell you.
If you want to rot in jail, that coin was stolen and we can prove it. You can't prove where you got it.
see, it'll take about a year before your case comes up. Court calendar's kind of crowded right now. But don't worry, Joe. If any of your friends try to bail you out, we'll toss them in here to keep you company. Okay, buddy, it's your funeral. Jailer? Yeah.
Keeping Joe Longo in jail didn't solve anything. He looked like the sort who'd never talk. But I was further ahead than the other investigators. I knew Joe Longo was mixed up in it, and I knew he came from Santa Clara, a small town not too far from El Paso. For the night?
4 bits.
All right, if you feed.
I feed.
Gene! Where you from, stranger?
Around.
We got a tough marshal here. If you're on the dodge, stay clear of him. Gene! He's the laziest boy. He takes after me. You hear me, Gene?
Coming, Pa.
In advance, stranger. All right, Gene.
Hold it.
Hey, them barrels don't match.
That's right.
Well, I get it. Rifle one barrel, shotgun the other, huh?
Got good eyes.
Yeah. I'm a good judge of people, too. Spend your life hanging around a livery stable, you get to know folks better than a doctor. Get so you can pigeonhole them. I can't figure you, friend.
That makes us even.
Shotgun SLADE. It's been a long time.
Abilene, I think, wasn't it, Dave?
I believe it was. Have a seat.
Better pull these shades down.
Hell, I know this is not a social call. What's that?
We got a man in Denver jail by the name of Joe Longo. Ever hear of him?
Yeah, him and his sister Francie. They own the Longhorn Saloon. What's he in for?
The $1 million Denver and Texas train robbery. We found one of the gold Mexican coins on him. Something I should know?
You know, I've been here for going on 5 years. I always figured Joe and Francis mixed up in plenty, but I've never been able to pin it on them, and I'd sure like to. $1 million. That's kind of pushing it, ain't it?
Sure is, Dave. Thanks, Marshal.
Oh, SLADE. Watch yourself with her. Francie plays real rough.
Long as she plays. Ma'am?
You're on the wrong side of the bar, mister.
Hey, I understand the best-looking gal in Santa Clara is Francie Longo. That couldn't be you by any chance now, could it?
Now, what do you think?
Well, I'm thinking if you're not, I've been misinformed.
Something I can do for you?
What do you do best?
You work fast, mister.
Where can we talk alone?
Aren't you crowding your luck, handsome?
We'll see about that later. Business first.
Oh? What business?
Joe. Just left him in Denver.
Over there. What's Joe doing?
Oh, not much of anything last time I saw him.
That sounds like Joe, all right. Now, what did you want to talk about?
Well, he sure wasn't kidding when he said you have everything.
You're a pretty fancy talker, mister. I didn't catch your name.
Barlow. Michael Timothy Barlow. Some people who really like me call me Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Well, you certainly make a fellow feel welcome.
About that business.
Well, Joe said he could put me in line to make some big money. Fast.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This.
Where'd you get that?
Joe.
Oh?
That's the real thing, all right.
So it's the real thing.
Take a good look. Denver mint mark, only foreign coin ever made in this country. Same mark as on a silver dollar.
That's very interesting.
We can peddle them abroad. I got connections.
I'm not in the money business.
I don't blame you for being cagey, Frenchie. I would be, too. I can handle a lot of this, if the discount's right. You think about it. Oh, think about me, too. I'll be around.
Well, what's he up to?
Him and Joe got together in Denver. Said I could put him next to a good thing.
That don't sound like Joe. He'd have written first.
Maybe he thought the 20 pesos was enough.
It's funny, ain't it? Here we got $1 million and nothing to do with it.
Maybe we shouldn't have double-crossed Garcia. Maybe that was our mistake.
Maybe. But even that's out now. I got the word he's dead. Francie, we've got to find the market.
He says he's got connections abroad, that he'll make a deal if the discount's right.
What's he call himself?
Mike Barlow.
Gee! I think me and your friend Mike Barlow are gonna have a real friendly visit. Mutually advantageous. Shake your stumps, boy! This is business! Get over at the hotel. Mr. Barlow's room. Fetch him here.
Didn't your pa tell you to always knock before entering?
He wants to see you. He don't like cannons either. So you better leave it here.
Get moving. Sleep tight, Junior. Boy got a little fresh. He'll be along when he wakes up.
I don't like violence, Mr. Barlow. I'm a plain man, and I talk plainly.
Good. I like plain talk about money.
We'll get along, sir. Sit down.
Thank you.
I understand that you're a friend of Joe Longo's.
That's right. Gave me this. Said Francie would understand.
Did he say how much was involved?
I read the papers.
I mean at your end.
We can do business if it's all on the level, as good as this.
I wouldn't try to pass off phony money, not on you, Mr. Barlow.
Sure, but still I'd have to see it. Things can happen, you know. Might have just enough of this to get us rolling and then try to pass off some phony. My people wouldn't like that.
Of course.
Now, Garcia's dead and you have no place to move this stuff, right?
You know your way around, friend.
Look, let's put our cards on the table. You need me as much as I need you. I'll take $250,000 worth of the stuff as a starter.
How much you pay?
25 cents on the dollar.
Oh, you're greedy, Mr. Barlow.
Stuff's got to be moved from wherever you've hidden it. That costs money. And it's got to be shipped abroad. More money. It'll have to be sold at a discount, too. Not too much profit when you add it up.
35 cents.
I don't dicker.
Nice work, son. Search him. We'll find out who he really is.
He's Clay, Pa.
An honest man, carry papers on it.
He's as crooked as a corkscrew.
That's a bad habit you've got, son.
Well, that makes us even.
Treat all your customers like this?
When I have to.
In that case, I'll take my business elsewhere.
Not so fast, friend. My old ma always used to say that a crust of bread is better than none when you're hungry. You show me you got what it takes and it's a deal. We'll both give a little. Get $10,000 in earnest money and I'll show you a railroad car full of gold pesos.
Fair in business, partner. Next time, Sonny.
You get him real mad at you, G, he's gonna kill you. I don't think you'd like that.
How's business, beautiful?
Mike, where have you been the last few days?
El Paso. Dad wanted to see some money, so I had to telegraph my contact.
The least you could have done was to let me know. I was worried.
Oh? About me or the money?
About you, darling.
Hey, what makes you so hard to get along with, huh? Anything doing while I was gone?
Ab. I've never seen him so nervous. Do you know that he thought you'd walk out on us?
Well, your fat friend's not much of a poker player, is he?
Then he decided that maybe you and I had gotten together to double-cross him.
Oh, you'd never do a thing like that, would you, Francie?
He's greedy. I don't like greedy people.
Of course you don't. Yeah, there's really not too much in it for us when you come to think of it.
Oh, I don't know.
Ab will grab the biggest share at this end. I'm just an agent. Small pickings, I'd say. You got larceny in the eyes, Francie. I can tell. Like your fat friend, I'm a student of human nature. What do you say we go partners?
You kidding. Ab would kill us.
That's my department.
You don't know him.
The woods are full of guys like him. Who's guarding the car?
Nobody.
The railroad guards, weren't they in the deal?
From the beginning.
And?
They're dead.
Oh. Well, how far is it?
It's not far.
Can you get a horse without Ab knowing?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Meet you out back in 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Where's Francie? Stepped out. Where? She didn't say. You seen Francie?
Well, Joe, long time no see. You walk right up to me and all you say is, you seen Francie?
You seen her?
Not tonight, I ain't. Is there something wrong?
I broke Denver jail.
Broke jail? Your friend Mike Barlow didn't say nothing about you being in trouble.
Barlow? I don't know anyone named Mike Barlow.
The fella you give the gold piece to?
Now, take it easy, Ab. I got into a brawl at the Occidental and they threw me in the cooler.
Keep talking.
They found the gold piece.
private detective. Shotgun Slade had it last I knew.
Tall, good-looking fella about your age.
You know him?
Gene! Saddle 3 horses!
Tired?
We're there.
Where? I don't see anything.
Down the grade. It's an abandoned mine shaft against the hill. Hasn't been used for 20 years. Tracks used to lead from here to the shaft. After the car was uncoupled from the moving train, we braked it downhill into the mine. Then we ripped up the tracks and covered the entrance with rocks and brush.
Huh. Deal. Stand back.
It's all here. Only this box was opened. $1 million.
We know you're in there, Slade. Throw out your gun.
It's Ab. He followed us.
You hear me, Slade?
Stay back.
Come on.
I'm going to get you, Joker.
Keep back now. Here he comes. What are you doing?
Ab, he made me do it. Please, he forced me.
It's too bad you couldn't have stayed on one side, Francie. Just for a while.
I wasn't changing sides, honey, honest.
Save your breath, Francie. Come on.
You all right, Slade?
Yeah, I'm okay, Dave. Thanks to you. Got another customer for you inside. An ex-millionaire.
Let's go, Francie.
And that almost winds it up, Mr. Franklin.
Almost.
Yes, just one more thing. You see, no one knew when that train was arriving in El Paso except you and the engineer.
Well, of course I knew.
And you picked the special guards to watch the treasure, didn't you?
Of course.
A lot of good men died to satisfy your greed, Mr. Franklin. And the funny part is, no one made a dime out of it.
You don't know what you're talking about.
That's where you're wrong. You see, Ab Corbett talked. And so did the girl. All right, officer. Gold affects people in a strange way. Sometimes ordinarily honest, upright people will lie, cheat, and murder when they see gold. Especially if there's a lot of it. $1 million worth.